Hi, I'm Stephen Pace, and I've worked with the Kalido-Heritage products since the late 90s. And sometimes I'm asked how being part of Magnitude has helped our products like Dynamic Information Warehouse, and which we call DIW, and Master Data Management, which we call MDM. So as an example of how being part of the larger Magnitude organization has helped, I'd like to show how easy it is to ingest data into our data warehouse product, or DIW, using one of the many drivers available from our Simba division. Now, if you aren't familiar with Simba, we're going to go to their website here. Hopefully you'll see it as part of this video. Just go to simba.com. And they lead the way in standards-based data access for relational, NoSQL, cloud-based services, and some of the largest companies in the world use Simba. If you scroll down here, you should be able to see examples of some of them. In fact, in some cases, the products they sell include some of our Simba connectors. So anyway, if you want to see what the latest list is for the connectors that are available, you can just go to the top of the Simba page, go down to Data Connectors, and then scroll down and see all the ones that are currently publicly available. So most of them are available in both ODBC and JDBC flavors, and I can scroll down through all of them. And so today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on one of them, Concur. But it could really, what I'm going to show could work for any of them. So as an example, in Magnitude, we use Concur for our expense processing. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Concur driver and load some data in to our data warehouse automation solution using that. So, but it's very common. If one of your customers came to you and said, "Hey, I need to ingest some data from this software as a service," in this case Concur, how would you do that? And so what I'm going to do is step you through the steps. So I'm going to shift over here to, you should see our DIW, Data Warehouse Information Warehouse product. And first thing you do is you go over to your ODBC and you just create say, I want a new connector. You must have first loaded the Simba ODBC driver. May require you getting a license if you don't have one already. In this case, I've pointed it at our sandbox Concur, just so I'm not loading my own expense reports as I'm pulling this data. So step one is create the ODBC connections. And next I need to go into DIW itself and tell it you can go and use this. And so the way you do this is you open up System, go into ODBC connections, you right click and you say New, and then you just point it at that one that we just created. So then it knows that it can get to it. And then the step after that, I need to run the Universal Load Controller Wizard, which is just right-click, say New, File Definition Load Controller. We also call this ULC. And then you can just give it a name. So in this case, I'm just going to call it Concur. And then you always have options to either just extract and land the data, or you can populate master data entities directly, or you can populate transactions directly. So in this case, let's say I just want to extract over the data. And essentially what it is doing, so imagine that a lot of these software as a service solutions like Concur or Salesforce.com, they essentially expose their data as a web service. But many systems are more oriented to consuming data using an ODBC or JDBC kind of connection. So in this case, what they're wrapping that web service and making it look like an ODBC connection. And so I'm going to go ahead and just say I'm going to take this option here, and I'm going to load from ODBC. I'm going to select that Concur ODBC driver. I've already populated it with my sandbox information. So once I connect to that, I then can see all of the web services that are available from Concur. So in this case, let's say I know I want to load all the Concur reports I have up in my system. So I can select that. And then I can even preview that and see, well, what does that data look like? So it's going to go out there and read that web service. And in this case, it's very sparse. So that particular web service has a ton of custom fields and so forth. But you can see, okay, there's a country. You can see a bunch of different things here. So here's the owner of the report. Here's their login, maybe the date that was created. And so there's just tons of fields here that are available. Now, what I could have also done is gone and used our SQL wizard to only select the subset of fields that I wanted. But in this case, I really want to load everything across there. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit finish on this job, and this creates a job over here. You should see it appear. And then to run it, I can just right-click and say, Tools, Run This Job. So that submits it to the app server, and I could actually follow along on the task server and just to see it running. And then if I get a green check mark, I know that it ran correctly. Maybe if it couldn't access Concur, it didn't have the right password or something, I would get a warning or an error here. And then if I wanted to see what it actually did, is I could just right-click and say View the Log File. That's going to pop that up here, and I can see indeed it loaded 1,009 rows from the reports in this Concur sandbox that we have. And really, that's it. I mean, that's how easy it is. And you could do that with any of the Simba drivers we looked at before in that list. And it's really a good example of how the Kalido-Heritage products are better being part of Magnitude. That's just one example. But thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, just submit it directly to this, either to this video or to the blog I'm going to post it to. Bye-bye.